Right behind me is Lake Mendota, the city of Madison. It's between the two lakes, between Lake Monona and Lake Mendota. And once every few years, we get to see the Lake Mendota and Lake Monona frozen because of the temperatures has plummeted below 0 degrees. And today is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is exactly 0 degrees Celsius. Very often we show up here and try to have fun because we try to emulate people who live on the northern part of the globe, like Antarctica or Arctic, or actually some people like Inuit people who live in the northern Yukon territories of Alaska and Canada, and we try to come and have fun over here. I'm gonna head over there and we're going to interview a lot of people over there as part of the tradition to come over here at the lake and have fun. A lot of people are skiing, and don't forget that the deepest part of this lake is about 88 feet. And right now, the thickness of the ice is probably about 3 feet, about that high. 2.5 feet is that. In order for you to have fun, you have to walk on top of the lake, you have to take a risk. At the same time, you have to exercise caution. Let me show how hard it is when the top of the lake is frozen. A lot of people especially from my homeland, Kenya, do not, they cannot fathom how a block of ice can be so solid that you can walk on it, you can drive a whole truck on top of it without plummeting down the lake, 80 feet down the lake. Let me drop this and you can hear the sound that makes like ding, ding, like just like a rock. See that? All right, let's go and talk to one of those people over there who are having fun and see what they can tell us. One of them is here. Thank you. How you guys doing?
Hi there.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. You having fun?
I'm sorry?
I said you guys having fun?
We are having fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is usually the base of the lake. I don't know if I can jump down here, if I can plummet right through the water here, but yeah, this is a shallow point of the lake, so I guess I can jump here. Yep. Alright guys, so last time I was here during summer. Oh shit. So you gotta walk. It's very slippery. All you have to do is watch out. Uh-oh. See this crack over here? You don't wanna step on this. Oh shit. What's your name?
Eric Whitney.
And tell us what you're here for.
I'm here for the World Championships for ice sailing.
Alright. Is it an event that you guys do every year?
This is the first year I've ever raced any form of ice racing.
Yes.
But I think there is a World Championship held every year, and it alternates between the United States and
Yes.
Europe somewhere.
So you have participated in this sport for how many years?
Well, I've been snow kiting for 10, 11 years.
How many countries have you gone so far?
For kiting?
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time I ever competed.
Okay. But I mean, maybe you get
But
out of
I've also
passion.
kited in Sweden. I went over there, visited a friend there, and got to go kiting there on a lake by Umeå in
Yeah.
Sweden. And then I've come back to Minnesota and kited in Minnesota. I'm in Alaska. I'm in Bethel, Alaska, which
Yeah.
is it's a river delta area, and it's a flat terrain, generally flat. And that's where I kite most of the time.
So tell us the rule of thumb in this sport. Like, how do you know how deep the lake is, or how safe is it? How do you know if it's safe? It cannot, crack and it can sink.
Well, if you fall in and you're swimming around, that means the ice is not very good. But I study the ice all from the day it starts getting cold. I see where it's starting to freeze. I come out and I check it. And
So how do you check? Do you drill or?
I start off with I use a kick sled, and I have a probe,
Yes.
an ice probe that's I think it's made by Lundhag. It's a Swedish thing.
Yes.
And it's very simple. If you can poke it and your probe doesn't go through,
Yes.
you can walk on it.
So like how many inches?
Early season, I'll find a route that's safe, and then I'll start biking on it. And then eventually we get snow, and I'll just track how that ice builds.
So where do you come from in Alaska? Is it Anchorage?
Bethel.
How far is it from Anchorage? Like it's a small town?
We're about it's a 6,000 about a population of about 6,000, 6,500. I think it's grown a bit. And it's 400 miles west of Anchorage.
So that must be very cold from where you're coming from.
You'd think so. We had a pretty warm winter though, and our ground looked like this with no snow until a couple of weeks ago. We finally got some snow. We've had the same kind of winters.
So coming from Alaska, how many months of the year that you guys get past 80 degrees? It's around 27 degrees Celsius.
Once in a while we get close to 80. We get to 80 degrees, and when it gets that hot, the people there do not like it.
That's the reason why they moved to Alaska, though.
When they live there.
Yes.
There's a large native population, and
The Inuit and the Eskimos.
it's just not very comfortable. My wife works at the hospital, and she says sometimes when it's hot like that, people will just come into the hospital and something's wrong.
That's interesting because someone from Texas, when it's like even for like 60 degrees, they are running their heaters in the houses, and you guys talk about probably below zero. What was your position in this sport? Do you rank points, or how do you win the race? I mean, this event?
Oh, I don't win this race. This is the first time I've ever competed. My buddy Tom was coming. He reps these kites.
Yes.
It's part of his business to rep these kites and the ozone.
Oh, this is a
And
kite. This is not a parachute, right?
This is a kite. It's a inflatable, or not an inflatable, but a.
Do you mind if can you step on it so you can show us a
Well,
little
I've
bit?
kind of got it packed up right now.
Your shoes. What's the name of your shoes? Does it have to have like a clip?
No, I don't have any cleats on these, so what I'm going to do is going to clip into my skis, and you got to check out these skis.
Oh yeah.
They
That's
are
interesting.
quite awesome. These are 238 centimeter downhill skis. And they've got a special tip, that blue part on them,
Yes.
that is designed to protect the ski in case we hit something going across the ice.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Wow. Oh, it's just click straight to the shoe. Oh.
Yeah, so now I'm clipped in.
So can you cruise all the way? Like you can cruise from here because you can use the wind as a drive mechanism.
Yeah, once I have the kite up, I'm able to cover a lot of ground real quick. I think, I don't know, my high speed is probably about 45, maybe 50
Miles an hour.
Yeah, I'd have to check my Strava.
Wow.
The real competitors have a special GPS device that records their top speed over a 10-second period, and I'm not that sophisticated.
You go over there against the wind, right? And then come along with the wind towards that position with a kite, like a parachute or a kite, so it's got a
You can
push.
go upwind, downwind, crosswind. You can, just like a sailboat.
All right, I appreciate your time, and we hope to see you in future. We have going to have this post again over here. I'll see you in future. Appreciate it. As you have all seen, the event was a very successful one, and I'm very thrilled right now because I couldn't imagine that I can stand on top of 80 feet deep lake like this and without drowning. Let's go and enjoy and talk to other people about this event. I'm going to turn the camera and show you guys how big this lake is. This is called Lake Mendota. It's more than, I don't know how many thousands square mile. In order for you to drive around, you have to have a lot of traction. You have to put the chains on top of that. How you doing, sir? You want to tell us what's all this about?
Yeah, this week we had the World Ice Skating and Ice Sailing Competition, and what it is like it's an alternative sport that uses kites. We call them wings or windsurfing sails to sail on ice or snow. This year was on ice because we had no snow. So people from all over the world came, mostly cold countries like Finland, Sweden, Estonia, Canada, and the other parts of the United States to come and compete really for the World Championship. There's probably 6 or 7 competitors from Estonia that are here this year.
How cold is it right now?
Right now, I think it's probably 25 degrees Fahrenheit, but the wind is quite strong. Unless you're very well protected, I have mittens, and I actually have little hand warmers. The ice, they measure it every day for safety precautions, and right now they're saying 14 inches, and the minimum safety is about 3. But at 14, you could drive a truck, and
Like a semi truck?
yes,
Like with how many pounds? Like how many tons?
that I don't know, but you can. It holds quite a bit of weight.
So for a small car, I can just drive right now easily.
Oh, easily, yes, yeah.
How long you been doing?
So I just help them run the races, and I have friends who race. So I'm here mostly to help because it's a little crazy sport, you know. It's not for everyone, including myself. So it's a lot more fun to watch than, you know. I mean, you really have to enjoy physical and mental pain.
I can tell. I've been here for quite about like 30 minutes, but I'm feeling like I've been here forever.
Exactly. The cold really takes the energy out of you, and it's hard to dress because when they're racing, they're really expending a lot of energy, and then when you stop racing, then you get really cold really fast. To go fast, you have to really put a lot of energy into it, especially like the legs, you know, because like you're holding all of that weight from the kites, and from that it's translating to your body and through your legs. Yeah. So
That's interesting. What's the name of the sport again?
it's called ice kiting or snow kiting. Yeah.
You're not allowed to use the parachute?
Oh.
It has to be kite strictly?
Well, they're called kites, but they're like modern parachutes, right? But if you just use a parachute, all you could do is go downwind. So these are designed so that you can actually sail into the wind and away from the wind. You know, because otherwise you would start in one end of the lake and then up in the other, and that's about it. So these, they're actually able to sail into the wind, like a modern sailboat. You can sail into the wind and then away from the wind.
Did you have to do this for traction? The
Yeah,
chains?
It's a common setup that they use chains when there's ice on the lake.
But you're not scared that it's going to break the ice?
No, the ice, in fact, like you can see, we've been driving all week here, and you don't really see much, right? I mean, as far as like.
Thank you.
I'm Neil Morton.
How long have you been part of this sport?
For about 14 years?
Have you won any race?
No.
What's the closest point that you have come to winning?
Oh, that's like top 10, not winning.
So tell us, how do you in the race? What do they look at into? Like speed, maneuvering, height, or what?
Oh, yeah, just course racing, which is a upwind mark and a downwind mark. So you have to make upwind progress to get to an upwind mark. And then once you're to an upwind mark, you have to make progress back down to the downwind mark and then do it again. So
That's interesting. You have to use a lot of energy and technique, right?
sore.
So it's like working out is a leg day in the gym, right?
100%, yeah.
How did you end up being part of these events? Because we don't usually have like this leg frozen.
The lake always does freeze over, or at least it has been for like recorded history back to early 20s, maybe, so about 100 years, maybe even longer than that. It's whether it stays thick enough, long enough for people to go out and safely. Where I learned it is actually through a club through the university, Hoofer Sailing Club. So that's where I learned to do it, and then I basically just started competing a little bit here and there, and then when this event came to Madison, Wisconsin, it was a no-brainer.
Yes.
It's in your backyard. You literally have to do it. So I was happy. It was a good week. Had fun, but sore. Need to train more.
The more you bring it down, the more you have resistance, right? Like how long have you been training for this? Like,
Oh, I wasn't in the competition. I just
okay.
had fun.
You're gonna show us, right?
My name's Mike, and this is called winging. People do it with boards, foils, skates, anything with wheels. You can do it. You can do it with all kinds of stuff.
So what you do is like you go all the way against the wind, all the farthest you can, and then use the wind to drag you down here. Or what?
It's just like sailing. You can sail if the wind's coming from this way. You can sail this way,
Just like a sailboat. Just
downwind, just by zigzagging back and forth.
we're gonna watch you do that. See. Wow, look at that. That's interesting. It's awesome. Oh man. So you can do that as much as you can, right? And then it's gonna come back here. See that? Wow. you told me you just learned this one like 3 days ago, right?
Yeah, but I ice skate and I know how to fly a kite, so it's not.
So we're gonna go home because it's getting chilly right now. I am freezing right now. You know, I've been out here for about 2 hours and I didn't have dress up for this weather, but I want to do a demonstration for you guys. I want to do something that you guys cannot comprehend, especially in Kenya. Initially, summertime and fall and spring, this lake is this high. You know physics. When water is cold and frozen, it contracts. So the lake shrinks from all the way up here down here. But this is a block of ice that was once water before it was frozen. So I'm going to show you guys how hard this block of ice is. So when I say that you can drive a whole semi truck, 18-wheeler truck, fully loaded, 8,000 pounds or 38 tons, you can drive on top of ice which is like 18 inches like this. A lot of you guys cannot comprehend how a block of ice is hard as a rock. So this is a rock. I'm going to show you guys. This is a rock, right? But let me show you that. It was just a demonstration to show you that a block of ice can kill you. Okay, it's as hard as a rock, and you can tell. Make sure that you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Love you guys. You've learned something today. Bye-bye.